Sometimes we go through periods on our journey where we feel stuck. Please excuse my broken nail, y'all. It will be visible this entire video, but just try to not let it distract you. Where we feel stagnant. Sometimes we might feel behind, like we're just completely behind in life. But the truth of the matter is that you're not stuck. You're not behind. You are exactly where you are supposed to be here in this moment. The reason why you may feel like you're stuck is only because of the mental blockages or the emotional blockages that you have put in place, whether it's subconsciously or consciously. In this video, we are going to talk about how we can identify those blockages and allow ourselves the space to release them. So before I get into today's topic, I want to just say thank you for being here. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name is Natasia. This space is about personal growth, doing the inner work, finding alignment with who you are and also where you want to be, who you want to be, and all of the above. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, boo. Thank you so much for your support. And as you can see, I've changed our channel name, okay? The channel name now is The Inner Garden. Before it was Mine in the Middle. I just feel like this name resonates more with the type of content that I want to put out and ultimately what I want this channel to be about. Also, it resonates more with just where I'm at in my life right now, and I want to take you all on the journey with me. So I hope you guys like the name. Feel free to leave your comments or your thoughts on it if you feel the need to. I don't know. But let's go ahead and get into today's episode. So today we're going to be digging into the reasons why we know what we need to do, right? We know what we want to do, and for some reason we still struggle doing it, or at least being consistent doing it. I used to think that honestly I lacked discipline, and then it was like, okay, maybe I lack motivation. Maybe I wasn't taught, certain things in my childhood, and maybe that's why I can't get to where I need to go. And I've realized that it's not about really any of those things. Discipline is important. Having motivation is helpful, but really the most important thing to focus on when it comes to growth, when it comes to being intentional about where you're going in life, it's truly about being in alignment. But what is alignment? Like, what does it mean to truly be in alignment? It means that your thoughts, your actions, your feelings, desires, everything is moving in the same direction. And a lot of the times we are misaligned because we have these desires, we have these big goals, but our thoughts are saying something different. Our actions are saying something different. To be in alignment means that the inner you is meeting or matching the outer you. So there are 4 reasons why we may struggle with staying consistent in our growth mindset. Because you know how when you come into new knowledge and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, this has changed my life, this has changed my outlook. In that moment, it feels like, okay, I've shifted. I'm enlightened, right? But then something happens, somebody triggers you, whatever, and then you start to repeat your same patterns and your same behaviors that you used to. And this happens a lot. I mean, I still go through this as well. But there's a reason why we go through those cycles. Reason 1 is you are growing from wounds and not worth. A lot of us are ultimately trying to fix ourselves. I feel like the personal growth space, the reasons why a lot of people get into the whole personal growth journey, spiritual awakening, and all of that, it stems from us going through hard experiences or battling with our own negative thoughts. It triggers something in you that makes you want to be better, to improve yourself, right? And ultimately, we know that there's more out there, that life is to be enjoyed and life is to be peaceful. But one thing that was pivotal for me to understand on my personal growth journey is that it is about returning to who you really are, who you truly are. You weren't born broke. You weren't born insecure. You weren't born, pessimistic. You weren't born fearful. We all started from a very pure place, from a very non judgmental place, but we have taken on certain experiences and experiences with people that have changed us and shifted us. Just like how we've changed and shifted over time from negative experiences, we can change and shift back to who we truly are at our core, which is love, which is peace, which is happiness, which is health. All those things are natural to us. So it's really about shifting your reason for being on this personal journey, shifting it from a place of hurt, trauma, healing to self love, to just, I want to be better because it makes me feel better. Because I'm happier. I'm happier when I'm taking care of myself. Reason number 2 is your subconscious identity does not match the person that you want to be. You cannot manifest a new version of yourself and be clinging on to the old version of yourself. You have to become a new version of yourself. You have to embody that new version of yourself. And it's not about forcing yourself into anything. It's really about allowing, getting clear of who you are in this moment, where you see yourself being, and stepping into that. There's nothing keeping us stuck. There's nobody holding us down. We're not in shackles. We're not handcuffed. And yet we put limitations on ourselves. I put limitations on myself. And I don't know why. I think honestly, a lot of the limitations that we put on ourselves are not even our own. It's us taking on other people's beliefs, whether it's our parents, whether it's our teachers, our friends, whoever. It's really important to overcome the fear of releasing or letting go of the negative beliefs that have been instilled in you that are not your own. You can start today by thinking like your higher self, thinking like the version of yourself that you want to be. If you see yourself as a millionaire, you see yourself having financial freedom, having, just joyful experiences, visualize and feel that and think about what you can do here and now that aligns with that. No, you may not be able to get it all done in one day. You may not be able to just go out and book a trip out of the country and, just say, okay, I'm living my best life now. No, but you can start being the person who is living their best life. And reason number 3 why it can be hard to change or shift or stay consistent with where you're growing is because your nervous system feels unsafe with change. There may be some things that you have to face internally to release what's holding you back. And that can be scary. That can be threatening to our nervous system because any type of change sends off a signal in our brain that this is not familiar, there's danger, 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 even if it's positive, even if it's something that can actually help us. Because what it comes down to is we are adaptable beings, and some of us have adapted to chaos. Some of us have adapted to an unregulated nervous system. But we have to be able to decipher what is right and wrong for us, right? We have to be able to decipher what it is that we need. Sometimes we cling onto the things that we want when really what we want is not good for us. And we need to focus on what we need. I think a lot of things that help with regulating our nervous system is just being more grounded, breath work, meditation, and asking yourself, getting curious with yourself, asking yourself, why is it that I keep attracting this? Why is it that I keep doing this? Why is it that I keep falling into this same loop? Why do I procrastinate? Why do I feel like I'm stuck and I can't get anywhere, even though I know that I'm limitless and there's nothing holding me back? Ask yourself those questions. And reason number 4 is that you are overloaded with information and not integrated in the information. I have done so much of reading the self-help books, listening to the podcasts, getting the courses, listening to the life coaches, all of that. And I know that I don't know everything. I know that I still have a lot to learn. But I've read so many books and they've all made me feel great. They've all helped me at some point in my life. But at the same time, I got to a point where I was like, okay, I need to apply this information. Reading the books or listening to the podcast is not what's going to change your life. What's going to change your life is you applying what you've learned. And so I want to offer this question to yourself, and this is something that you can just either think on and meditate and ask yourself, or you can use it as a journal prompt. But the question is, what is one truth that I've learned recently that I have not fully practiced yet? Because we get the ideas, we get the motivation, we get the inspiration, but how many times do we apply it? How many times do we act on it? So we discussed all of the reasons why it can be challenging to embrace and fully embody the growth that we want to experience, and how it can be challenging doing what it is that we know we need to do. But moving forward, you can shift, you can pivot, and you can start thinking differently. Because what if you feeling like you're stuck isn't really failure? It's not really bad. It's not really something you're doing wrong. It's just an invitation for you to slow down, for you to gain more clarity. Maybe it's just a signal that you need to start looking inward now. You need to do some digging and pruning. So I invite you to just start focusing on one small habit or shifting one belief, and just watch how things start to transform. It's not about forcing anything. It's about tending to yourself. It's about being more curious about yourself. Get curious about what you are capable of doing energetically, mentally, and spiritually. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're new here and you like this type of content, definitely go ahead and subscribe and comment one thing that you know you want to do for yourself but you keep putting off. But I hope you all be well and live in love, live in light, and we'll chat on the next one.